American television series chronicles the tale of the 100 teenagers sent back to Earth 100 years after the nuclear accident?
The answer is The 100. The 100 is an American drama series categorized under post-apocalyptic, drama, science fiction, action, and dystopian that began airing on the CW in 2014 and ended on September 30, 2020. This television series was developed by Jason Rothenberg and it is based on the book 100 written by Cass Morgan. The 100 series, which is the best series from the CW with an IMDb rating of 7.6 and it consists of 7 seasons. The 100 is not about 100 days. 100 refers to 100 people. The Earth is destroyed by natural disasters, nuclear wars, atomic bombs, etc. The whole Earth is populated with radiation. Destroyed so that no living thing can survive. But according to calculations, the Earth will be habitable again in 100 years. 97 years after it devastated the surface of Earth, the only survivors were approximately 400 inhabitants of 12 national space stations that were in orbit at the time. 3 generations have survived in space. There is a shortage of their resources in Ark. The resources are running out and the Ark is dying. So they have to control the population. Due to the scarcity of resources, they decide to send a team to see if Earth is habitable 3 years ahead of schedule. It's like a suicide mission. So they select 100 young criminals. They are sent to Earth. In the meantime, due to a fault in the rescue plane, all the connections with the mother plane were lost for those 100 people. 3 of them died due to the defect. This is where the actual 100 TV series began.
Question number 2.
Which TV series fought for control over the lands of Westeros by 9 noble families?
The answer is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is an American fantasy drama television series produced by the HBO cable network. It is based on a Song of Ice and Fire novel series by George R.R. Martin. This TV series consisting of 7 seasons has got 9.2 IMDb value. The series has also been filmed in Malta, Iceland, Croatia, Morocco, Spain, and the USA. According to the Song of Ice and Fire book series, Westeros is set in the 7 Kingdoms and the continent of Essos. The TV series follows a war of succession between claimants competing for control of the Iron Throne of the 7 Kingdoms, while other noble families fight for independence from the throne. Meanwhile, the series is a hugely popular award-winning television series featuring the threat of the long winter ahead, as well as legendary creatures and fierce men of the north. In this story, people are transformed in a terrible way because of some experiences that the world gives them. The little boy who becomes disabled at the beginning of GOT ends up being the king of Westeros. People are like iron. They are sharpened by crushing them. Do you understand why people are so afraid of winter in this story? Winter is not just a season. Winter is the transformation of people. Winter is coming.
Question number 3.
Which series is centered around a deputy sheriff named Rick Grimes who wakes up from a coma?
The answer is The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is an American post-apocalyptic horror television series. It is based on the comic book series written by Robert Kirkman and published by Image Comics. The story begins the months and years that follow after a zombie apocalypse. It follows a group of survivors, led by police officer Rick Grimes, who travel in search of a safe and secure home. The series features a large ensemble cast as survivors of a zombie apocalypse trying to stay alive under near-constant threat of attacks from zombies known as walkers. Over time, the characters are changed by the constant exposure to death and some grow willing to do anything to survive. With the collapse of modern civilization, these survivors must confront other human survivors who have formed groups and communities with their own sets of laws and morals, sometimes leading to open, hostile conflict between them.
Question number 4.
Which 2021 Korean hit series see players competing in deadly childhood games?
The answer is Squid Game. Squid Game is a Korean horror series released through Netflix and became the most popular show in many countries. Squid Game is a story that belongs to the genres of thriller, mystery, action, and drama. This Squid Game is an old Korean children's game. The story starts with a small introduction about what this game is. The main character of the story is Ji-hun. Ji-hun is an ordinary person whose marriage has failed, and who lives with his elderly mother without any job. His job is to bet his mother's hard-earned money on horse races. So one day when he was completely helpless with no money and nothing to do, a man came and told him to play a little game. So Ji-hun, who is stuck with many problems in life and is in debt everywhere, leaves home to participate in this game because he has nothing to do. When he was standing on the road waiting for the vehicle to take him, a small van came and stopped and asked him to get on. After getting up, smoke makes Ji-hun unconscious. When Ji-hun gets up again, his clothes have changed. He has come to an unimaginably strange place. Not only that, there are hundreds of other people like him. All of them are players like Ji-hun. Squid Game is written and directed by Korean director Hwang Dong-hyuk. The thing is that he started writing the script of this story in 2008. Although he finished writing it in about a year, this script is not accepted by any media company. The reason is the cruelty of the content. But after 11 years, Netflix gives Hwang Dong-hyuk opportunities to start filming.
Question number 5.
Which series is centered around a warrior and a farmer named Ragnar Lothbrok?
The answer is The Vikings. Vikings is a historical drama television series created and written by Michael Hurst for the Canadian television channel History. This original Canadian-Irish series broadly follows the exploits of the legendary Viking chieftain Ragnar Lothbrok and his crew, and in later seasons those of his sons. The first season premiered on March 3, 2013 in Canada and concluded on April 28, 2013, consisting of 9 episodes. It begins at the start of the Viking Age, marked by the Lindisfarne raid in 793, and follows Ragnar's quest to become Earl, and his desire to raid England. Originally planned to only be a miniseries, as stated by initial reports and releases. The show was renewed for a second season after the strong support it got from critics and viewers and concluded after its 6th season.
Question number 6.
Which series features a world where all of humanity has lost their sight?
The answer is The Sea. Sea is an American science fiction drama television series produced for Apple TV+. It was written by Stephen Knight and directed by Francis Lawrence. It stars Jason Momoa and Alfre Woodard in the lead roles. The series is set in a dystopian future, where humanity has lost its sense of sight and society has had to find new ways to interact, build, hunt and survive. All of that is challenged when a set of twins are born with sight. The series premiered on November 1, 2019, and the second season premiered on August 27, 2021. Due to the effect of a virus in the 21st century, the people who lived in the world are going blind. All factories are closing, cities are closing, people are going wild. They are getting used to the darkness. A diverse tribal group is formed. When people become tribes, war is bound to happen because they are only sensitive to their tribe. Even if there is a war, seeing it is just a dream for anyone. These people consider having sight as a curse, just like witches. So in this world without sight there is one person who has sight, and that is Jeremorel. For the blind, they think he is a magician and a curse from God. Jeremorel is in a relationship with a woman from the Alkan tribe and has 2 children, Haniwa and Kofun. So these two have the same vision as Jeremorel. While these things are happening, the tribe called Witchfinder is looking everywhere to kill the children of Jeremorel. Although these people are blind, even the slightest sound is sensitive, so it is difficult to hide them.
Question number 7.
Which series features a German town where the disappearance of 2 young children exposed the relationships among 4 families?
The answer is The Dark. Dark is a German science fiction thriller television series co-created by Baron Bo Odar and Jansch Fries. It ran for 3 seasons from 2017 to 2020. It lacks the seriousness that comes to mind when you think of science fiction. Instead, the design tricks the viewer at its best, twists and turns. That's why some people think it's too complicated. But if you watch it to the end, you'll see for yourself how this tangled ball of yarn unfolds more beautifully than you ever imagined. The best way to see how creatively the director has crafted this story is to talk to those who abandoned watching the series before the end. If you ask someone who watched only the first season about this story, he will tell you that this is just another time travel story. If you ask someone who watched the second season about this, he will tell you a different concept about it. But if someone finishes looking through all those incomprehensible things, the answer he will give you will be different from all this. That's where the real answer lies. In fact, this is a design that goes beyond a normal science fiction story. This is a strange story where science and philosophy are mixed. There are concepts beyond time travel in this. What is the journey? Where is the end of this run? What is extinguishing? Where does the stop begin? What is cause and effect? How to destroy the effect? The end of this story will inspire you to look at all this with a different eye. And the end of this shows you how everything we do follows us and everything we say is connected with us. With all that, the directors of this series have given an end that can be called perfect.
Question number 8.
Which series is centered around a gangster family epic set in 1900s England?
The answer is the Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders is a British period crime drama television series created by Stephen Knight. Set in Birmingham, England, the series provides insight into the exploits of the Shelby crime family in the immediate aftermath of World War I. The gang is led by fierce boss Thomas Shelby, who returns to Birmingham with his brothers after serving in the British Army during World War I. Peaky Blinders is technically based on a true story, but the storylines are fictionalized by the writers for television. The real Peaky Blinders were a street gang based in Birmingham that operated from the 1880s until the 1910s. They are reported to have sewn razor blades into their caps, and they would headbutt enemies to try and blind them. This gave way to the name Peaky Blinders.
Question number 9.
Which television series centered around the survivors of the plane crash that crashes on a deserted tropical island?
The answer is The Lost. Lost is an American serial drama television series that predominantly followed the lives of the survivors of a plane crash on a mysterious tropical island. The survivors are forced to work together for their survival when they realize that they are not alone on the island. Lost was created by Jeffrey Lieber, J.J. Abrams and Damon Lindelof, was produced by Bad Robot Productions. It was filmed almost entirely on location in Hawaii by their local production company Grass Skirt Productions. The show was produced by ABC Studios and aired on the ABC network in the US.
Question number 10.
Which TV series is based on a true incident of a nuclear power plant explosion?
The answer is The Chernobyl. Chernobyl is a miniseries with only 5 episodes that managed to get an IMDb rating of 9.6, which was aired on HBO. This series is based on a terrible tragedy that happened on April 25-26, 1985 in Pripyat province of Ukraine. It is none other than the explosion of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. It is said that 100,000 times as much radiation as the Hiroshima-Nagasaki bombing in Japan was released from the Chernobyl incident. Also, although the number of deaths caused by the explosion of a nuclear power plant is low, the impact on the future is very high.